I think we need to call a truce.
You don't hit my men, I won't hit your men. You don't hurt my brother, and I won't take your whole family. We work it out so you can get a piece of the action. Okay, chump? Champ. My word is bond.
And his word has always been bond. What is going on with y'all? Welcome to Raw Takes Unfiltered with my brother Triborough. How you doing today, man?
Chilling, how you?
Hey, man, living the dream out here, ain't we?
Oh yeah.
So before we get into it, our top seven, because we didn't want to do a 10 and we didn't want to do a five. We kind of met right in the middle. Might be some honorable mentions in there, but we are going to do black lead roles in films that are often forgotten, very underrated, and a lot of times forgotten, which is crazy. But today, Triborough, who do we have for the mystery guest?
Mystery guests. We have Q the movie collector.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's
How you
going
doing,
on,
man?
peoples? I'm doing pretty good, man. Just collecting movies as usual, watching movies, reviewing 4Ks. That's what I do. So it's been a great year so far, and it kicked off pretty strong this year as far as collecting movies. There's one notable piece I'm going to talk about, so I want to bring that to everyone's attention.
All right. And for those of you who are looking in the description, his name will be down there, but I did not want to reveal who the mystery guest was going to be. So I purposely kept his name out, but he does have his own YouTube channel, also Instagram. He is on Letterbox, I believe, as well. So if you want, shout out your channel, let them know where they can find you and what do you do on it.
So everyone can follow me on Instagram at Q the Movie Collector. You can follow me or subscribe to my channel, please, on YouTube at Q the Movie Collector. I buy a lot of physical media. You can see these things right behind me in the back. This is what it's all about. I really review mainly 4Ks because Blu-rays and DVDs have been around for so long, and I'm a little bit of a tech nerd, so I like details. I like great sound. So I talk about a lot of that when I do my reviews. So I give a lot of feedback and details about certain releases that most reviewers don't really care to talk about, and I even talk about movies most reviewers don't really like to talk about. So that's really the big aspect of what I do as far as physical media. It's a huge importance. So it always feels good to own your stuff instead of streaming it and then it's gone when you want to go back to watch it and you gotta find something else to watch. With collecting movies, you just go straight to the shelf, pull what you want to watch, and boom, you good. You can make it a blockbuster night.
That's right. Man, dude, I miss Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, all the mom and pops that used to be around. It's crazy how much you miss something when it's actually gone.
Right.
And you take it for granted. Triborough, let them know where they can find you as well for the
You can find me
first
on
time listeners.
Instagram, Triborough__Gigolo. You can find me on Daddy Rap Podcast. That's my YouTube channel. And definitely subscribe to our page on Instagram, Raw Takes Unfiltered, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well.
Yes, we are trying to build the clientele, and one of the hardest things in YouTube is to build the damn clientele.
Facts.
It is a hard grind. You really got to love what you do. Let me just give a shout out real quick. What up, Justin?
Doing a salute.
Everybody's in here just looking like we all having a good time here. We got 4K D-Ray.
Okay.
And we are going to get right into it. And we like to have the guests kick it off. So number 7, underrated black lead films. What do you have for number 7? Q.
Bill Duke. Bill Duke.
Never heard of that. What is that?
So Bill Duke, you said like an underrated actor, right?
Well, underrated actor that's in a film, underrated film. So either way.
Yeah. I would say Bill Duke in even though it was a small role, it's very memorable if people can remember it. Menace to Society. He was the cop in Menace to Society that that called up that interviewed or interrogated Kane, and he was talking about, you know, you messed up, right? You know, you messed up. So it was one of those situations where for anybody that's going through stuff and you know you didn't call up and you sitting there talking to the cop, he's making them nervous. So he was selling that brilliantly. So that's one of those roles where it was really small, but it was very effective.
I get you. So you're telling me you bought the beer at 12:15, right?
Yeah.
That's that one that catches you off and it gets you by surprise when you first watch it, especially. So you bought the beer at 12:30.
Yes.
Toby's killed me. Try. What is your number 7?
Number 7, I got Sanaa Lathan, beautiful actress. I'm gonna go with there's a HBO movie from 2000s called Disappearing Acts. It was Sanaa Lathan, Wesley Snipes. Yeah, really enjoyed that film.
Never heard of it.
And she played a singer, Zora Banks, and you know she was like a starving artist. And she met up with Wesley Snipes' character Franklin Swift. He was like, you know, jack of all trades. He was a construction worker. He was doing odd jobs, you know, to make the ends meet. You know, he had other kids with other baby mamas, and they linked up, and they had a romance going on. But you know, they were struggling. You know, she ended up getting pregnant by Franklin. Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest, he makes an appearance in the film because he was her producer. And I thought it was like one of her best roles. Like, you know, I've seen it in, you know, The Best Man and other films, but I think like Disappearing Acts was like a great film, and she and Wesley Snipes had, you know, great on-screen chemistry.
Damn, I never even heard of that one either. So there you go. It's already, you know, the Menace to Society I've seen. I know the actor, but you know, that's the good thing about having these type of conversations. Mine is the little clip that I played that, as far as Wesley Snipes goes, everybody just remembers him for New Jack City, being Nino Brown, and that's fantastic. But if you don't know Romeo from Sugar Hill, Sugar Hill is one of them slept on hood movies. I mean, Clarence Williams III, rest in peace. His performance as their father is just absolutely brilliant. It is a blend of gangster movie with a mafia twist to it. I mean, it's just got everything you need, especially in a gangster film. And it's highly slept on, and it's a deep cover love story. Right. And you notice how the girl doesn't really want him back until something bad happens to her. And that's just like the typical scenario in the hood. You know, sometimes that girl don't want you, but then something bad happens and she comes trailing back because you're the stronger person. You're the muscle. So she feels more protected. And, you know, it's just kind of got that, you know, great charm to it. And it's often forgotten in Wesley Snipes movies. It's always saying Blade, New Jack City, you know, so Sugar Hill is definitely underrated. Number 6, Q, the movie collector. What you got?
Okay, so number 6, I'm gonna say, and a lot of people know this actress. I don't think a lot of people know her name, but I'm gonna go with Kimberly Elise's performance in Set It Off.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Set It Off. That's another movie that not a lot of people really talk about too much. Dope.
Yeah.
Female roles, fire.
The whole, I would say the scene that really got me was, you know, after they've robbed the first bank and they're sitting there in the, I guess wherever the hideout is, and they got the money spread out, they're taking the money or whatnot. And then, you know, they start handing her money, and Queen Latifah was like, no, she don't get this cut. And then she starts breaking down, saying that you don't understand. I need that money. I have a kid that I have to take care of and provide for. And all of a sudden everyone's like, whoa, you know, just give her the money. You know, I always said that she was an ugly crier in a lot of her roles that she played in, but you felt that. It was one of those things where you felt it. So Kimberly Elise, because she's played in a lot of stuff. Most people know her from the Tyler Perry movies, so that's another one they know her from. She's done a lot. She's got a long body of work, but that performance from Set It Off, that sealed the deal for me.
Mm-hmm. Triborough, what you got? Number 6.
Number 6, I got Delroy Lindo. I'm going with Crooklyn from 1994, Spike Lee film.
Yes.
I love that film. He plays Woody Carmichael. He was a husband. He was again another starving artist. He was a jazz musician, but he had 5 kids with Carolyn Carmichael. And the story takes place in Brooklyn, New York, in 1973. And it's basically like, the story is told through the eyes of Troy Carmichael, the daughter, Zelda Harris, and growing up with her 4 brothers, and just getting into mischief with what kids did back then, and they had an unfortunate tragedy with the mom getting sick and passing away, and then you got the dad who's like a starving artist, and he has to take care of these 5 kids. And I just thought it was a great family film, a black family film, and it's highly underrated. And even Delroy Lindo as an actor, highly underrated. He's been in films like Gone in 60 Seconds, of course, Sinners, and I've always liked his performances and like the different roles that he's picked.
Well, mine is this Denzel film that I think a lot of people sleep on, but again, it's right up there for me with Man on Fire, and that's Out of Time.
Cool.
And the reason why I loved it at first, because I was huge on Superman, and
Right.
of course, the guy Dean Cain who played Superman in the TV series Lois and Clark.
Yes.
I seen him, and that made me attracted to the movie before I even caught that Denzel was even starring in it. So when I seen him playing the boyfriend and the plot twist and the things he has to do to cover up his tracks, Denzel's performance, as always, is amazing. But Out of Time is one of those movies that really gets lost, and it makes it so interesting because he's the sheriff of the town. So he runs the town, you know what I mean? Like, so he's got all this upper hand until that FBI agent comes walking in, and then he's got to duck and dodge. And the ending is just so twisted and crazy. So that's a movie that's often forgotten, especially in a lot of people's repertoire when they talk about some good mystery, what's going on in this movie. So that's going to be my number 6. Number 5, Q, what you got?
All right, so I'm gonna apologize for everyone for the barking dogs. So my dogs get over anxious. But my number 5 is gonna be Leon from The Temptations, playing as David Ruffin. Loved him playing as David Ruffin, man, because I mean, you up until when that movie, or I think it was a television series that it started. It was different episodes.
Yeah.
And growing up listening to The Temptations and whatnot, and you don't know the story behind what's going on with the band, the whole group, and just seeing him steal the show every time he's on screen. He had it all. He had all the emotion. You got to see every little bit of David Ruffin that a lot of people didn't get to see when you look back on older footage. And when you watch that, you go back to watch that footage, the old footage, and say, you know what? He was like that. So, and Leon, to me, he's one of the most underrated actors ever. But that was the role to me that really, that was his breakout role, playing as David Ruffin.
Yeah.
What you got, Triborough, for
number 5? I got Damson Idris, and I'm going with the F1 film. Him and Brad Pitt.
I have not seen that yet.
That's a great film. If you love NASCAR racing,
it's dope.
Yeah, and he plays Joshua Pierce.
F1. Hold up. Let's not confuse NASCAR and F1. F1 is way more complicated. Okay.
Yes.
I am a huge F1 fan. Don't be disrespected with this NASCAR shit. Okay.
Yes, Formula Racing. Formula One racing. He plays Joshua Pierce, the young, cocky. He was arrogant. And then you had Brad Pitt's character, Sonny Hayes. He comes along on his team. He was like the older statesman. You know, he felt like he knew how to get it done. And him and Joshua were clashing. And I don't want to give away the movie, but there's something that happens to Joshua in the film where Sonny had to take over. But I thought Damson Idris' performance in that film was one of his best performances. And he also was like the lead role in Snowfall, if you ever watched that series.
Oh yeah. That's a dope.
Sure was.
Do you know that the real Rick Ross is trying to sue?
Yes.
Was trying to sue over that because he said that's based off of his life. It's like basically a mirror to his life, and everybody between the rapper Rick Ross and then you got this show coming out. Everybody just steals this man's life and then nobody pays for it.
Nope.
Right.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Oh man. So all right. So my number 5 is gonna bring both of y'all back with nostalgia, comedy, coming of age, and drama, all wrapped in one film. The Wood.
Oh man, yes.
All right, can we just Taye Diggs, Omar Epps, just fantastic cast all around. Such a good movie. Seeing the adult version and then the child version, reliving that, memory was just such a brilliant way to do that film. And that's one of those films that nobody ever puts it on the top. Nothing. And it is one of the best coming of age Black films out there.
Yes.
So I had to put that on my list, especially I love Taye Diggs in this movie. And then seeing like that, I'm from North Carolina, and then like he's living in Cali, and they're like, yeah, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? But the way that they made friends, I mean, it's just crazy. So I had to put that up on my list.
What you doing talking to my sister? What you doing talking to my sister?
Yeah.
You think she a hoe or something? No, I think she pretty.
The other part I love too is when they all made the bet for the phone numbers to who can get the most. And then because he got homegirl's number, they was like, yo, you won. Nobody else can get her number. You won. So again, just fantastic coming of age. And I could tell I sparked y'all nostalgia on this one.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's a great one.
That definitely kicked in. 4 Q.
Okay, so I know a lot of people know of Ice Cube. Most people, when they think of Ice Cube, they think of Friday. They think of Boys in the Hood. They think of even some of the funnier stuff he's done in recent years. But the one film to me, and this is also another John Singleton classic, is Higher Learner. I loved him playing as Fudge in that movie. There were so many great actors in that movie, not just him, but you had performances from Tyra Banks. You had Omar Epps. You had even Michael Rappaport playing as Remy.
Right.
And Busta Rhymes, a young Busta Rhymes that was fresh from Leaders of the New, making his acting debut before his solo rap career took off. The topics in that film, they were powerful. The ending was sad. It's still sad to watch to this day. But Ice Cube just taking it to a whole nother level, being that, that older, wiser upperclassman that's trying to, teach Omar Epps' character the ways of, how to survive on this college ground as a Black man. So that Ice Cube's performance, along with everyone else's, was just fantastic in that film.
I like that one. What you got for number 4, Try?
Number 4, I know she's not all Black, but she's Black to us. I got Zoe Saldana.
Oh yeah,
Colombiana from 2011, and she plays Catalea. She was like a high contract killer, and she went after the drug cartel that killed her parents, and her uncle was like grooming her from when she was like a young kid to be a contract killer. And I enjoyed it. I love the action. I love the backstory with Catalea, and Cliff Curtis played her uncle, and he's also been in a lot of films that we love, Training Day and Three Kings, Blow. And I thought it was like one of Zoe Saldana's best films, and I love her as an actress, and so that was like a classic film to me.
Mm. Yes, I can agree. Higher Learning was a deep film. It
Yeah,
definitely was.
definitely.
Um, for me, number 4 is going to be Tales from the Hood.
Oh,
Now,
classic.
now
Classic.
I know it's not, us nerds, we know about it. Us real horror heads, we know about it. But for me, I think David Allen Greer gives the best performance playing the monster because it literally scared me. All I ever knew him for was comedy. And it's crazy to see him just take that role and then having the tattoo monster. Like growing up watching that, I was just like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So, and I think my screen is frozen for some reason.
Yeah,
So
I
it
can't. I
is,
see your name, but I can't see your face. I
yeah,
see you
I don't
talking.
know. I don't know what it, but
Nah, he's on.
hey, it's StreamYard. Welcome
Yeah.
to StreamYard. What you got for number 3, Q?
So number 3, this is another feel good. This is a feel good movie, and I think this will be right up your alley when I mention this. Like much like you mentioned the Wood, The Best Man. Um, I love The Best Man because you had the serious moments, you had the sad moments, you had even the funnier moments. And one of the moments that stood out to me in that movie was the scene where Morris Chestnut's character finds out about I think it was Tay Diggs' character messing around with his wife.
Yeah.
And it just gets chaotic. That's one of the far more memorable scenes I remember. And I don't know about y'all, but I feel like that movie, with the tension with that, I feel like, even though I know Tyler Perry does his own things, but I feel like he borrowed a lot from that film. I really do.
I agree.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
I really, I haven't seen that film in, God, 10 years.
They had a
Yeah.
TV series too.
Yep, they sure
had a
did.
TV
Yeah.
series?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know all that.
Yep.
Damn. I'm missing out. What you got for number 3, Try?
Number 3, I have more of a recent film that came out last year. I'm going with Cynthia Erivo from Wicked, Part 1. She plays Elphaba. As we know, she becomes a Wicked Witch of the West later on. And I loved her story of, she came from a home where it was like her father favored her sister, and she was like in a wheelchair more than Elphaba. And just having when she meets Glendolyn as and their friendship, and then we see how they might not always agree on things, but they were still friends, even though like there were certain things in the film that kind of tore them apart and they went their separate ways. But I loved her performance as Elphaba, and it was a great musical. And I've always been a fan of The Wizard of Oz. I was like one of my favorite films growing up, and just like the creation of that universe and like the films with Wicked is just a classic film.
Yeah, that was actually my mom's favorite film. I've watched it so many times that I can't watch it anymore. It kind of, when I had got back in the day when the Blu-ray came out, I never bought the 4K, but when the Blu-ray came out, I was just like, wow, this is crazy, because I always just watched it on TV or VHS.
Same.
So seeing it on a Blu-ray in that color just popping, I can only imagine what the 4K looks like.
Right.
But I just can't bring myself to. I would never watch it enough. I would never probably even watch it once, which is why I never bought it.
I'll tell you what, man. I feel like I was kind of deprived as a kid growing up, because a lot of people get introduced to the Wizard of Oz first, but for me, I got introduced to the Wiz. So I was introduced to the Wiz. So to go back to watch the Wiz and then turn around and watch the Wizard of Oz is mind blowing.
Yeah. My number 3 might not be a heavy one that people know like that, but it's probably one of LLJ's best roles in a film, period, because he plays God in Too Deep. I love that movie. A lot of people just I don't like it. I don't believe. Listen, I would believe if LL was in the streets and he's that big, and you know them calling him God was just always one of those funny things to me. And you know, Omar Epps playing an undercover cop and just trying to infiltrate his whole system. The way they beat Homeboy on the pool table, think about it. Think
Oh
about it. I mean,
yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
even that is crazy. You had JD in there, you know, playing Melvin, trying to rob Omar Epps' character. So it's just crazy. And then he just throws in the chain afterward. Like, man, yo,
Right.
get out of here. Like, if you wanted it, you should have just asked. So it's one of those movies to me that gets slept on. And it's definitely something that people should definitely return to and
Mhm.
watch it again and give it that second chance or that third chance. It's really a brilliant film. And LL playing God. I love it. I think it's
It's
hilarious.
crazy. It's crazy that you mentioned that because I have something else from that film on the list, but it's crazy that you mentioned that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Q, what you got for number two? Q
So
and two.
so number two for me is this is a movie out of this director's filmography that a lot of people forget. They don't talk about it. I don't know why it never gets brought up, but I'm going to talk about it right now. And that is School Days from Spike
Oh
Lee.
my God. I
Um,
haven't heard that in a long time.
yes, and I want to say it was. I think at the time, I think that was his first musical that he did, and he did brilliant. That was his first first big film that he did after She's Gotta Have It. So, one of my favorite performance. It to me is what really sealed the deal for him as an actor. I know they like to look at Kings of New York and a few others, but Lawrence Fishburne playing as Dap.
Mhm.
He was so serious and cold, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the film, just to really, bring about that message about waking up. He's going through waking everybody up after all the craziness that took place the night before. That ending, man. That movie there, I could sit back and watch that so many times, and it puts a huge smile on my face because all the great moments in it. But yeah, School Days.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
What you got? Try number two.
Number two, I got Wesley Snipes, and I'm going with White Men Can't Jump from
Oh,
1993.
yes.
And he played Sidney Dean. He was a hustler on the basketball court. He did odd jobs to make ends meet. He wanted to move his family out of the projects. And then he comes across Billy Hoyle, played by Woody Harrelson, and he was a ball player as well. And they go on this run on the street ball tournament, and they end up winning. But I think the on-screen chemistry between him and Woody Harrelson was great. You had Rosie Perez in that film; she was hilarious, and I loved it. I think it's a slept-on '90s film, a great basketball film as well, and it had a great hip hop soundtrack as well.
We're going to Sizzler. We're going to Sizzler.
Yeah.
We go.
My number two is a gangster film, and before I get into it, am I the only one that really that just think that Rosie Perez always plays the same character?
No, she's done other films where she played different characters. You have to really go deep in her filmography.
Yeah, because I always every movie that I've seen her in, it just feels like she just plays loud, obnoxious.
Well, she's really like that in real life. Like, I haven't met her, but I have a friend that he used to work at this supermarket, and she came in the supermarket, and you can literally hear her voice like down the block before she came in.
Well,
she's really like that in person.
I'm sure she is like that in person because even Jay-Z says something about her. So I get it. But for me, this gangster film hardly ever gets talked about. But Lawrence Fishburne as Bumpy Johnson in Hoodlum is so phenomenal. I mean, again, Clarence Williams, such a brilliant cast. Tim Roth. And just watching how Bumpy came up from nothing to what he was. And then the way that they build it, for me, I can watch Hoodlum and jump right into American Gangster and damn near not miss any of the storyline leading up to Frank Lucas's takeover.
Oh,
So that's the reason why I love that film the way that I do when I watch it so much, is because Hoodlum is just one of those films where you watch his rise in his power, and then you can go right to American Gangster and learn from when he passes on and Frank Lucas takes over and keeps that whole thing going. Harlem, Harlem, baby, this is Harlem, you know? So it's just one of those like real crazy films that everybody forgets about when they talk classic gangster films. So, for everybody's number one, Q, what do you have?
all right. So, my number one, I mean, it's not surprising. It's my favorite Denzel movie. And my favorite performance from him by far, and that's Training Day.
Okay.
And the reason why I mentioned that is because I can remember when that movie first came out and I watched it for the first time. I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, Denzel, he's always played the good guy. You know, he's always played the good guy. He's never really played a role where he was just straight up evil. And just to see him handle that role with so much ease and do the things he did in that movie, it blew me away. To me, I mean, I know he's done a lot of great roles. I mean, even before then, I loved him in Ricochet, but Training Day is where it's at for me. That's my number one.
Okay. I can't argue that number one. That's still fire. What you got, Try?
Try now. Getting back to your movie that you had LL Cool J in, my number one is Omar Epps. Same movie, In Too Deep from 1999. He plays the undercover cop, Jeff Cole. His street name was Jay Reed. And
That's
you know,
what it was. I forgot what his name was.
Yes,
Jay Reed.
Jay Reed on the streets. And
yes, sir.
You know, he lost himself because he had to go undercover within God's drug empire, became friends with them. But then you started seeing, like, is he Jay Reed? Is he Jeff Cole? And he kind of lost himself. And Stanley Tucci, great actor, he played his boss in that film. And he had to reel him back in, like, Jeff, like, whose side are you on? Right? All this is going on. And then you also have the lovely Nia Long. She was in that film. She played Jeff's love interest, Myra. She was a painter. And, you know, they had a romance going on. And I love that film. That was another hood classic, great soundtrack. You had Nas, who made a cameo in that film as well.
Yes,
as one of the drug dealers, and you know, it was great, classic film.
Yeah, and you know, the other part about that movie is, for some reason, the ending really hurt. Like, because even LL was like, "You ain't no cop, nah, you ain't no cop," you know, and just the way from Akron, you know, I didn't know they was doing it like that. Well, if you don't tell nobody, it's like you couldn't pick a place where it was actually believable. You know what I'm saying? You had to say Akron.
Bro, that was the first time I heard of Akron, Ohio before LeBron James.
Yeah, same here. I had never heard of it either, and I'm like, "What the hell, Akron? I never even heard of something like that." But he's like, "Well, hey, if you don't tell nobody we get money out here, we good, you know." And just all the jewelry that he wears is hilarious.
You also had Sticky Fingers from Onyx and Shaheem from Wu-Tang Clan was made cameos.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They tried to rob him.
Yes.
I remember that. Remember that. Denzel in Black. Yes. Devil in a Blue Dress and Book of Eli. Yes. Very underrated.
Those are dope. Yeah.
Because my number one also has Denzel Washington, and Justin said it earlier, and I didn't want to say anything, but this movie still makes me cry, and that's John Q.
Yes.
I mean, it is a very hard watch, especially when you have that much emotion and love for, you know, even if you're not a parent, if you're a parent of an animal or anything like that, and you treat your animals like they are your children, it does hurt. And, you know, even everything that he went through and is about to, you know, give himself, holds a hospital hostage.
Yeah.
I mean, his performance was just literally, I was like, damn, I wish he was my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he just went all out. He was ready. He was just like, listen, I'm willing to give myself up, you know, give him my heart and let my son live on. You know, like to me, a selfless act that a lot of parents probably would never put themselves in that position. You know what I mean? So for me, John Q, I think when it comes to talking about Denzel, it's just really not mentioned up there with some of his great films that he did such a powerful performance that it's unforgettable. You might forget it, but when you watch that movie, you're going to remember why that is Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'll tell you something, man. Every time if I'm just watching normal TV and that movie comes on, I watch it every single time.
Yeah, and no matter what point it's at, it's
Yeah.
kind of like Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
You know, that movie does it for me. Misery does it. If Misery is on USA,
Yes.
you know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And it was in the middle of the movie or about to end, I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just certain films that just bring back so much nostalgia, or it's so good that you're at that point where you're like, I don't care what point I catch it at, I gotta watch it.
Yeah. Bro,
You know?
I actually went to see that film when it came out, and I ended up buying it on DVD later. But I remember going to see John Q, and the scene where Denzel is talking to the son in the hospital, and like right before the surgery, that almost brought a tear to my eye. Like that was like one of the saddest moments I can remember from a Denzel film. But it was that great of a performance from Denzel that a lot of people don't even mention that film.
Yeah, it really is. It's weird, you know. I mean, there's so many films that always come first, especially when it comes to Denzel. I mean, he's had to be in what 60, 70 films, you know. So, it's just never, for some reason, it's just never mentioned. You know, whenever they say, or like you know, Mika was saying, it's never a you know, Book of Eli or anything like that. It's always the same 4 or 5 joints, just like Lawrence Fishburne. It's always Deep Cover, Boys in the Hood, you know. So that's why I wanted to shed light on, you know, him in Hoodlum, because that role he's so brilliant, and it's never recognized, and it's also a great film. You know what I mean? Yes, Ray is Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is Ray. That was another good film.
I was going to mention that one too.
Yeah, there are so many good films that people mentioned in here. You know, Mika just recapping The Higher Learning. You know, Justin has said it earlier, John Q, and I'm like, oh damn, I can't say. Denzel in Fallen, another great film.
Yeah.
And nobody really says anything about it.
I'll go as far as to say this, like, before I even named Training Day as my number, I did have a number one, but then it clicked in my head. But the one I had originally as my number one was going to be Love and Basketball, another Omar Epps film.
I love that.
I love Love and Basketball. I don't really get hipped into a whole lot of, you know, romantic dramas or anything that nature, but that's another movie when it comes on TV, I've got to watch it. I've got to watch it.
Yeah, same with another one that I was going to mention was which is basically just Shakespeare, and you know, Mekhi Phifer just going crazy because of the way that he's being manipulated is just crazy. But for me, you know, when I had to choose, I'm like, I got to put John Q. You know what I mean? Like, it's just basically a Shakespeare movie, you know, a Shakespeare play reenacted. But John Q is in a league of its own. So that's why I ended up choosing that one, you know, instead of But is another really great one that gets slept on, especially Mekhi Phifer. You know, he did his thing in that movie. And the way he was going is saying, really thinking that, oh my God, ruined his basketball career.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy the way that Josh Hartnett just had him thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like going crazy. But, you know, I also looked at it as not a lot of people even know that movie exists.
I remember watching that on cable. It was him and Julia Stiles with his girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And Josh Hartnett was just that devious, jealous dude. You know what I mean? And boom. Yes. I'm telling you, Mika, you know, it is a really great film. It's very slept on, and they don't have anything but a DVD release because that's how I own it.
Man.
I don't believe they have a Blu-ray, and I know they damn sure ain't got no 4K. But
Nope.
yeah,
Nope.
Thank you, Q.
Nope. So that leads to me to say this. I'm going a little bit off topic here. The thing is that if you want something to come to physical media format, you gotta put it out, use the platforms that you have, put it out there, advocate for it. Like right now, I don't want to take full credit for it. I want to say that I kind of started hyping it up. I want to say early last year. It's probably my favorite movie of all time by far. So imagine the delight I get when the director sends me a DM after I post it all over Instagram saying, I want this movie to come out on 4K. I need to have it. Please tell me this is being worked on. And I tagged him in it. That director was Reginald Hudlin. Wow. And I became friends with him. He followed me on Instagram and everything. And he was telling me through the conversations I had with him, he said, it's people like you and a few other people out there that was putting it out there saying you guys wanted this to come out on 4K or a Blu-ray because it was stuck in DVD land. And the movie that it happened to come out, House Party.
Yes, sir.
The original.
Definitely.
And if you follow me right now on my Instagram page, I put out right after this released, I started putting out things about Boomerang. Because I even asked Reginald, I said, or Reggie, he likes to be called Reggie. I asked him, what's the possibility of us getting Boomerang? He said, I don't know anything yet. All I can tell you is tell everyone to keep pushing it out there. Let Paramount know you guys want this out there, and it will happen. So I'm going to probably spend a good portion of this year advocating for Boomerang because that's another one of my favorite titles. I love Eddie Murphy in it. I love the entire cast in that movie. But yeah. So that was my little cool story I wanted to share about that. So House Party is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love House Party.
Definitely.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I did the same thing, and Greg Ross Jr., the director of a film that I was trying to get to Blu-ray, which is another slept-on one, but it was a very low-budget film. And for me, Blue Hill Avenue is still a it is still a dope hood movie, but often forgotten because it is very low budget.
Yeah.
But, when I had made a video about it, maybe like 2 years ago, I did this whole spiel about it, how great of a movie it was, why it deserved to be on, Blu-ray, and why we need a restoration. Even he jumped into the comments and in the comments on the video and commented like, what's up, Paramount? Let's do this. Like, I'll come, I'll redo the film. And then we never heard anything about it again. And I still talk to him from time to time. He still writes for TV shows. He still directs TV shows, but he's not doing like movies because of what happened in Blue Hill Avenue. So it kind of sucks because it had a powerful cast.
It did. And I will say, listen, I love New Jack City. I loved Alan Payne as G Money, but I would say I would put his performance in Blue Hill Avenue probably slightly above that.
Yeah.
I would put it slightly above his performance in New Jack City.
Yeah. And it's one of those movies that's just stuck in DVD land and it's never going to come out. Another one, I won't say it, but you know what movie I'm going to say. Gotti is another one that should be on Blu-ray or 4K. One of the greatest mafia movies. But again, Goodfellas, Casino, all those movies outshine it. But that is the closest we're going to get to seeing John Gotti's life before, John Gotti passing and getting caught and being all flashy and shit. That's what got him caught. you know, so it's just one of those things where I wish that they would release that on Blu-ray. I even started a petition, but I only got up to 30 signatures. So it's like, if you don't know about the movie, you're kind of hesitant on signing about anything, you know. So I didn't really blame people for not signing it. But when you don't know about a movie or you don't take somebody's recommendation on, hey, just check this movie out. It only takes, you know, 2 hours or, you know, and you might end up finding a movie that you'll actually fall in love with and be like, wow, I missed out, you know. But hey,
so I see something in the comments I wanna address right quick. Justin said the Hellraiser female Hulu needs a physical release. It's out, man.
Yeah, got one.
Oh,
Yeah.
He said Barbarian also. I thought Barbarian was released too.
Yeah, Barbarian's coming out this year. And then Mika mentioned New Jersey Drive. That's a classic.
Yeah. I that's another one I made a video about, trying to push a Blu-ray release and no bites. You know, everybody's just like, you know, and I love Heavy D's cameo in there. It's just, it's so classic because you could really picture Heavy D being like that.
Right.
You know, even though his raps were very, you know, smooth and articulate, him being, you know, you take that shit up the block. I mean, I love that.
Yes,
I love that shit. And it's just seeing that person out of character, being in a character, it's just so fun to me. And New Jersey Drive is definitely one of those ones, and it's a deep film when you get to the end of it. You know what I mean? It's another one of those where you don't think it could even get that deep, and it does.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you another hidden gem nobody talks about.
Where'd you get that Hellraiser from, Q?
Orbit DVD. They've been stocking it every now and then, but every time they stock it, it sells out. So you got to keep a close eye watch on it. If you go to their website, look up the movie, it'll pop up, and if it's out of stock, you can click to have a notification sent to your email, and then you'll get notified when it's back in stock. So definitely go after that. But another classic no one talks about, and when it was mentioned about New Jersey Drive, it had me thinking about this other movie that came out around that same time. That's Strapped, with Fredro Starr and Bokeem Woodbine.
Yep.
Yeah, it got overshadowed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Thin line between love and hate. Yes, we need it. We need that joint.
Yes.
You know, all them old classic. I wouldn't, you know, at this point, I wouldn't even mind a really nice 4K, you know, just like a rescan on a Blu-ray. You know, it's hard enough getting them on 4K.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, you know, my brother D-Ray being one of them, that he doesn't want to collect because he's afraid it's going to come out on 4K. But if the Blu-ray transfer is good enough, you know, I wouldn't advocate for it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Dick Tracy. I would love to see a 4K on Dick Tracy.
Yes.
But for me, I think the Blu-ray looks really good. I have the Blu-ray. I think it looks really good. But for me, it's the color palettes.
Right.
There is so much yellow, green, and red in that movie, and that's where HDR really shines.
It does.
So for me, it would be like a bonus, and I would just love to have bonus features. I know people don't watch bonus features, but God damn it, I do.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
I love bonus features. I love learning how the things are made. This is how I put, you know, when I do deep dives on certain movies or TV shows, most of my information comes from watching those stupid bonus features that nobody watches. And then, you know, I put it in a video and boom, everybody thinks I'm this smart guy. And, you know, I'm smart, but you know, most of that comes from just watching documentaries, bonus features, and you'd be amazed at what you can learn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. Sometimes the blue will do.
Yes.
Yes.
Eve's Bayou. Oh my God, man.
I forgot about Eve's Bayou.
Wow.
Yes, great performances across the board. Who the hell was in that movie? Jesus, I can't even remember
I
who
did a
was.
review on that years ago. I forgot who was in it though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like some of these gems that you forget about.
Yeah.
This is boom. Yes, I love Orbit too. I actually want to take a trip out there. I do live about 2.5 hours away from the one in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So I did want to take a trip up there one day, but it's tough with my work schedule and such a long ride because my kids hate long rides. So I wanted to bring my teenager, but he's like, I can't do 3 hours, Dad. That's crazy. And I'm like, I drive a tractor trailer all day and you can't do 3 hours?
Hey, they got video games and everything in that place. I've never been, but I just know that's what they have.
I know.
There, so.
I've seen videos. I've seen all that. Yeah, man, we got to try to figure something out. Maybe definitely in the summertime and weekends works best for me. That's definitely, I would definitely go to Orbit, and just chill, see what they got. But I want to bring bucks up there. I want to bring like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't go to Orbit and just walk away.
No.
You can't go in there and be like, yeah, I'm just going to browse. There's no browsing in a place where we love to collect physical media and they got damn near something we want. Right. So you got to go there with a good 400 or 500 on you in order to at least get something.
Yeah.
I want to come back with something and be like, yeah, I went to Orbit to get this shit.
Oh, that's right. Lynn Winfield was in that movie. Yeah, that's right.
And Samuel L. Jackson? Damn, that's how long it's been since I've seen that movie. Yes. Different with bonus. Yep. I mean, and that's the other thing I hate too is when we get releases, they always we're going to put the special features only on this. And then it never shows up again. Like the Ninja Turtles that I have. The reason why I never got rid of my DVD is because it has a documentary that's not on the Blu-rays and it's not on the 4Ks. So for me, I just kept it. And plus it has the mess up where you get to see the Puppet Master. So, Yo, that's how it, for me, I love weird shit like that, man. And when they came out with the Blu-ray, the Walmart version they had with all 4 of the movies, they edited that part out so you can't see the puppeteer for Splinter.
Yeah.
And I love the DVD because you can see him clear as day in the DVD. So I kept it. I held on to it, never let it go. And I still have the Stanko Vision and I still have that Walmart Blu-ray.
Wow.
The slipcover is dope. One of the very few movies I own multiple copies of. One of the very few. I don't like to do the multiple copy thing, but some copies I just can't let go because they got something special.
So I got a question for both of y'all. So I know we just mentioned this actor. So out of both of you guys, what's your favorite Samuel L. Jackson movie? And then I'll name mine.
Wow. For me, I mean, this right off the bat, the one that gets me every time is The Negotiator.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
I liked him in Django. I liked him in that. Django.
Oh yeah, he was great in that. He was great in that.
Leo.
Yeah, but I mean, there's even Shaft. I mean, I know it wasn't anything.
He was great,
but he was great. He was funny,
great.
And him as Shaft. You know what I mean? Like it was the perfect fit. His short time that he spent in The Other Guys, hilarious.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The movies that he's done with Quentin Tarantino, Jackie Brown.
Yes.
Being one of them. He was fantastic.
That's probably my second favorite from Samuel Jackson. I know a lot of people like to point to Pulp Fiction as their number one, but that's like my second. And the Jackie Brown is like my second favorite.
Yeah, Jackie Brown is that's a slept on Quentin Tarantino. That's not always mentioned up there with the top bracket
Nope.
of Quentin movies. You know, it's usually always Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs and The
Mhm.
Django. So you know, for me, I mean, I named my son after him. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's my favorite director. So that's my guy right there. Um,
So my favorite Samuel Jackson movie, which leads to another rare gem that no one talks about, is A Time to Kill.
oh,
That was good.
fantastic! Another one
That's
that's
my number
hard.
one.
It's a hard watch.
Yeah, it's a very hard
Hard
watch.
watch because I mean, you know, being a dad, I don't have a daughter, but you know, I got two boys, and it's you know, yeah, I felt everything that he did was justified.
Yeah.
But you know, that's my opinion. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people. Well, people can change. Nah, there's no changing from that. You just
Mm,
ruined that little girl's life. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And even though it's a movie, you feel that intensity
Hmm.
in every minute of it, and the way that you know Matthew McConaughey just took all that abuse. They burnt down his house.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like so, yo, it's such a great. I see that one didn't even pop in my head until you said it, Q.
Yeah. That
Until you
that's
said it.
that's one that nobody mentions when they talk about Samuel Jackson. They talk about, like I said, the ones that
Yeah,
really got him a lot of acclaim, but that's a rare gem where you really get to see his true acting chops in
yeah,
that film.
yeah. Because for me, I remember the first time I actually like physically knew, you know, besides being a kid, that oh, that's Samuel L. Jackson was in Die Hard.
Oh
Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
right. In
So
Vengeance. Die
yeah,
Hard and Vengeance.
so you know that was like kind of like my first introduction to him that I can remember, and then from there, you know, led to all these other great movies: Pulp Fiction, Time to Kill, Jackie Brown. You know, the Negotiators. Is so many of them.
Hmm.
So yes, sir. Try. You got anything to say before we wrap
We got
this
the
up?
honorable mention. We doing honorable mention?
Oh, you want to do honorable mention?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
we
I
just
got
been
two.
blabbing.
I
Okay.
got two actresses that were in former R&B groups. Number one, Kelly Rowland
Okay.
for Mia Culpa from Netflix 2024. She played a defense attorney, Mia Harper, in her she had a case for this artist. He was accused of killing his girlfriend, Zaire Malloy, and she crossed the lines and she got intimate with him, and he was well, I don't want to give away the movie that for people that didn't see it, but it was she has some steamy love scenes in that film, but I think that was like her best performance as an actress so far. And
Wow.
I know she's in a new movie now with Met the Man, Relationship Goals, that came out, and I really liked her in that Netflix film. And number two, I got Notori Norton from 3LW, and she played Little Kim in Notorious film,
Yes.
2009.
That yes.
Rest in peace, Biggie Smalls. And I loved her as Little Kim. I know the real Little Kim had an issue with her playing Little Kim, but I loved her in Notorious, and she had a steamy sex scene with Jamal Woodley, who was Gravy, the rapper. He played Biggie Smalls in the film,
Hmm.
but she was great as Little Kim. She took a risk, and I think she nailed it, and that's what really got her the role as in the Power series.
I kind of figured that. Because that Notorious came out way before
Yeah,
Power
way before
Yeah.
came
Power.
out, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of figured that because she killed that role as Lil' Kim.
definitely,
She
definitely.
did. She did. I just wanted to send a quick shout out to my man Lou, his podcast. I've been on it before. Let's
Lou.
talk about it. He talks to real people, real life, trials and tribulations, and it's a really good listen. And brother, we are going to have you up on here as well with one of the special things we got coming for the 80s and 90s heads that really enjoyed entertainment. I don't want to give any more away. Try, you know what I'm talking
I know you're
about.
talking about, yeah.
But we're trying to make that a really big event. We're talking 6 to 8 guests on at a time and really have fun. And again, I'm sorry about my camera. I have no clue what the hell happened in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But yes, he definitely will miss. Chad was definitely
Yeah, definitely.
crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think I'm underrated?
Big Sean, salute.
Mm, maybe.
I don't remember anything that she's done. What has she done?
She did that one film where I got it over there. I forgot what the name of it. It was like a horror film, I think it was, where she has a present time she's living in, and then there's like this past version of this character that goes deep into the past. Gosh, I forgot what the name of that movie was. But yeah, she was in a horror film. She did great in that movie. I forgot what the name of it
Wasn't
was.
that Annabellum?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
All
it.
right. Yeah. Yeah. She was also in like I think Moonlight.
Yep.
She was in.
Great film. Great film.
I can't think of any others, man. But yeah, that's the only one that comes to mind. Like right away is Annabellum, which was a crazy film.
Yeah.
That was crazy. You know, other crazy film.
She was also in that film about the black women that was a part of the NASA program. What was the name? Wasn't she in that movie too? I forgot the name of that movie.
Hidden Figures?
Yeah, wasn't she in that movie?
I don't remember. I'll be totally honest. I do not remember. I don't remember. What's the name of it? Let me look it up.
Hidden Figures?
Hidden Figures. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 2016.
Yeah.
Hidden Figures.
Okay.
Yep. See, I didn't even know that.
Wow.
And she was in the Glass Onion, I guess, which I haven't seen any of those Onion movies. What do they got? Like 3 now?
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 on Netflix, but I never watched them, so I can't tell you whether or not. We appreciate you, Mika. Oh, see, she had jumped out the name before He's on top of it, man.
Mika stay on top of it.
Yeah, man, we definitely gotta have the twins up here one day too. I got the perfect subject for them that they would love. So we're gonna reach out to them at some point. But Q, we want to thank you for swinging in, stopping by, and definitely gonna have you on in the future. One more time, just shout out your channel, where they can find you, and a little bit of what you do over there.
You can find me here on YouTube, Q the Movie Collector. You can find me on Instagram. Been a crazy first part of the year. Haven't really been active. So I've been sick. Just got over the flu. But there's a lot of movies I'm going to be reviewing here, and I've got a huge update video coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. And for a lot of people who's watching this stream, I haven't forgot about my big epic giveaway, so that's still in the pipeline. So, and again, thank y'all for having me here, man. This has been great. It's been a vibe. I loved it, loved every minute of it, and I definitely want to come back. I definitely want to come back.
We just have fun, man. We let people be who they are. You know what I mean? So to us, it's fun. Triborough, where can they find you, my brother, from another mother?
Instagram, Triborough__Gigolo, Danny Rap Podcast. I'm currently live streaming the stream also. Follow me over there on YouTube. And thank you to everybody that showed up tonight. This was a great live stream.
Yes, man. I had a lot of fun. You can find me at Movie AV Impulse. I stopped doing the reviews, but for me, I love doing the deep dives now. I love talking about underrated artists, hip hop. And we are going to be doing a stream, me and Try, on freestyle music pretty soon. So that one's going to be real fun because that was the music of the 80s and early 90s, man. Love house music. So that's going to be another episode upcoming. But we appreciate everybody swinging by, and we are going to be heading out. Much salute and much love to everybody. We will see you on the next one.